See Johnny out there a little bit. Is he making progress? What's kind of his?
He's making progress.
Did he practice today? To what
No.
extent? He didn't.
He's doing some light, non-contact stuff, but he's improving.
Do you expect to be able to play it all this week?
Huh?
Do you expect to be able to play it all this week?
No. I mean, not in games, I don't think. But he's ramping up his activity, and he's doing some light stuff. He's moving around. So, I mean, he had a pretty significant sprained ankle. So there's no point in rushing him out there just to try to get him into a game and have him get re-injured again.
Rick, what'd you like best out of this first week with these guys?
What I like best, the offense. Defense was poor, so we got a lot of work to do there.
What would you like to have about how Jarace has worked himself into the offense this year in terms of finding a role and fitting? Obviously, it was 3 of 3 and a pair of threes. Like, obviously he's got a pretty vast skill set, varying skill set. What's it like to make him fit there, and how do you think he's done that?
You know, with Jarace and all our young wings, it's going to be about. It's going to start with hard physical play and intensity, and then all these guys have gifts, you know. So, but you know, for him to get on the floor consistently, it's going to have to be the physicality, the attention to detail, the running hard, those kinds of things. And I mean, it sounds basic, but you know, fundamentally, it all starts with hard play in the NBA these days.
What kind of progress have you seen there? We've talked about that theme throughout for Jarace all of last year and everything of being more physical and showing the presence on defense. What kind of strides are you seeing, and where do you see him still?
Well, maturity, you know, higher level of maturity this year, more understanding, learned from last year, put it behind him, and he's concentrating on the things that are necessary for him to be a factor in our rotation. I mean, we love him. I mean, he's a high IQ guy. He has positional size at the 3, and he can rebound. He can defend, and he's demonstrated consistency here in the first week or so. So, you know, a lot of good signs, and tomorrow is another big day.
You mentioned the young wings. I mean, do you look at it as having to make a decision among the 3 of them, or do you look at it as considering what they all bring to the table, you're probably going to have to play them all anyway? I mean, do you look at it as you have to make a choice as far as that second unit, or do you just look at it and say these guys can all play and they're all going to have to?
Decisions define everything in life, so they're all decisions.
Right.
They're all decisions, and but you know, I watch carefully, and really, you know, these guys really are the ones that decide it with how everyone's playing and so on and so forth. So. But they're all terrific. They all bring something unique and important to our roster, and so you know, I'm very open-minded, and they, you know, they all are doing really good things.
Almost going through a position change the way Jarace is the way you evaluate them any different? Are you looking for different things out of him in these games as he goes through that?
Well, it's rare that a guy can go from a bigger position to a smaller position in the NBA. It's just rare. It usually goes the other way, with the speed and the tempo and the skill and all that kind of stuff. But Jarace is unique. I mean, he has unique gifts. He has a unique basketball IQ, and you know, he's in the process of being successful at doing it. And if he can, it just enhances his value to our team.
You mentioned at the time when you drafted him, you know, him having played point guard, you know, at IMG. Do you still feel like a lot of what he got out of there still translates? I mean, does that make him a lot more easy to move around because he's got that background?
The point guard background?
Yeah. I know it's
it's a positive factor in his background and development, but it's probably overstated. You know, I mean, the important things are, I'm going to sound like a broken record.
Right.
Physicality, hard play, hit somebody, you know, get rebounds, that kind of thing. And, you know, that's the starting point. And then his other gifts will be on display because they will come out as he's playing the game. But, you know, to make this about skill and, you know, those kinds of things ahead of hard physical play would be a mistake. It'd be a mistake. And look, he's gotten the message, and he's doing a lot of good things these first 2 preseason games. He's been very consistent in practice, and so, I like where he's at.
Rick, you've coached against Wiseman in the past. Is there anything that he's done that you didn't realize he could do now that you have him?
He's a terrific listener. He's been a factor in these 2 games with his size, and he knows where to be, and that is around the basket. He's rebounding well. He's demonstrating the ability to be a really high-level offensive rebounder. That's of great value, and he's a great kid. I mean, he's a great person, and our whole thing with him is forget about everything that's happened in the past. All right, you're a Pacer, and the day you walk in the door here, it's day one, and we're moving forward, and he's embraced that, and he's done a good job.
I want to elaborate on that piece. I mean, that's not always easy for guys to do when they have a situation where they've been disappointed in the past. I mean, what's it taken for him to do that, and what's impressed you about how he's put it in the past? I mean, it seems like he's just taken a really simple approach to this.
We just explained to him that this is how we're going to do business, and this is a new beginning, and that's it. And he's embraced it. There's no point in talking about anything, in the past that was unique challenges or anything like that. And you can see from his play. I mean, he's keeping it simple, and he's a factor.
Does it seem like he just has less pressure? Do you think that helps? The fact that he doesn't have to think about that anymore. That's not sitting back there in terms of how much was invested in him. Do you think the fact that do you see less pressure because of that?
This is a new opportunity, and one of the things that's important in the NBA is to respond to former challenges. Whether it's something that happens on the floor during a game right now, or it's something that's happened in your past. When you find an organization that is willing to invest in you and believe in you and sees a path for you to be successful, short and long term, that's not a hard sell.
What it takes to kind of play smart and make the decision to this.
Yeah, I feel like just keeping the game simple is the most important part, because we have so many talented guys around the team that could make plays that'll get me open. So just being able to knock down open shots and then just make simple reads when my team is open and get them the ball. So I feel like just keeping that offensive part of the game simple just makes a big difference on this team.
How much more confident? I mean, we talked about the shot a lot, basically. It seems like you've taken even a bigger stride this offseason. How much better do you feel shooting the basketball than this time last year?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Oh, yeah. It's definitely a lot more comfortable this time around than last year. So, I mean, with that comes with reps, just being around the team, just sitting there for 82 games, even more than that, just watching teams. So, I mean, just being around the NBA in itself just gets you more confident, more ready for that second year. And I just feel like that's all it is, just more adjusted, more comfortable, more confident in the second year.
When you go from a position up to down, Rick said that could be harder than the other way around. What to you has been the most challenging part of that so far?
Honestly, I wouldn't. I mean, maybe just guarding the smaller guards, maybe, but I feel like that's probably just guarding smaller guards, because offensively, I feel like our sets are similar with those positions, so pretty interchangeable. And then we play such a fast game that, I mean, we sometimes have random matchups on defense. So I feel like just guarding those smaller guards, keeping those in front, that would probably be the biggest change.
Because your offensive responsibilities, you feel like you're not thinking that much, it's coming pretty natural to you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely try to focus on just like hard play, defense, rebounding, and then that offensive side, that'll take care of itself.
Jarace, you guys have so much continuity and chemistry, yet you guys are very competitive in practice.
Yeah.
What does that say about the group?
We know there's another level we could take it to, and we all want to be great. We all want to see each other succeed. So we know the games are what they are, but like this area, this time of the year, that's really when we could grow and get each other better and push each other, because we know each other's tendencies really well. Like we know each other in and out. So, I mean, if we can score on each other, if we can get stops on each other, then I feel like the NBA game will be not easier, but less of an adjustment.
I know we talked this before last year when you were even talking about playing for three, but how much do you still rely on that experience playing point guard as a high schooler? Like, how much does that make transition just going back there?
Yeah, definitely makes it easier because I feel like the three I have the ball more, so decision making is big, just limiting turnovers, making the right read, just hitting the open man, just keeping the game simple. And just playing point guard kind of helps you in that sense, just keeping the game simple, getting your teammates involved, but still being able to know when to get downhill, make reads, make shots, take your shot. So just simplifying the game, but also knowing when to do what.
Shot looks smoother. How much work was put into that, and just technique-wise?
It was really just reps, and then I guess it kind of just figured itself out in terms of smoothness. But I mean, I didn't try to tweak nothing or change nothing. Just try to get just more reps. So this is something I'm working on.
We watched you with it all the time last year. Do you feel more confident with it in games now than you did this time of year?
This time of year, 100%. Because I was an incoming rookie coming into preseason. Those are like my first 4 NBA games. So, I mean, definitely having some games under my belt makes it a lot more easier.
Rick talked a lot about you playing more physical. You mentioned it as well. I mean, like, how are you just not keeping that mindset? Basically, like, what are you thinking to try to make sure that you're being physical? Like, are you just looking to hit somebody? Like, what's on your mind to kind of keep that part the most important?
Honestly, I feel like it kind of came from my off-season work because my off-season work, it was always a defender, and then I was guarding too. So just always having that defender on me, having to bump him off, create space, and then defensively just being more physical, pressing up on screen. So my off-season work was a lot more physical. Usually it was just 1-on-0, but I was basically playing one-on-one during my workouts this offseason. So just keeping that body on me, being physical, I feel like just doing that over and over again just implements to the game, and then it just happens naturally.
Did you trim up in the offseason?
Yeah, I probably lost about 7 to 10 pounds maybe.
So what are you now? Like, where are you?
Like 233, 235 in
You
between that.
mostly played at 240?
Yeah, 240, probably a little bit more than that.
Who was that one-on-one work with this summer, if you don't mind?
I was working a lot with Jim, and then my trainer, Mookie Damas.
How much has the weight loss helped you just guarding guards?
Big time.
That was the biggest reason to do it.
Yeah, I mean, and then it kind of happened naturally, just starting to eat better, take care of my body better, but definitely helps a lot moving on the court, and I could feel it, like moving faster, getting through screens, running up and down the court, because we play so fast, so you have to be in a tip-top shape to be able to keep up what we do.
Always room for improvement. Numbers-wise, I don't think we're very happy with where we are, but I think that's what preseason's for. To get those kinks out and kind of just, play off our mistakes and clean up stuff that we need to get ready for the season opener.
Something a few people have mentioned is you guys were 18th after the All-Star break last year, and obviously the roster changed mid-season. But what to you was clicking or the best you guys did on that end, and how can you repeat that?
I think just locked into the scouting report, knowing what our rules are on that end, and just I don't know what word I'm looking for here. Kind of just getting it done. So we got to continue to do that in preseason. You're playing with new guys, and just have to get ready for it.
Continuity with this group, though, a large chunk of last season's team is back. Where does that pay off most in these first couple of weeks?
I think you guys see it, the way we play offensively, and even, a little bit on the defensive end. We know where guys are, and that's with, experience together and playing deep into the playoffs together. So bringing pretty much the same group back makes it pretty easy for us to know where everyone's going to be at.
How do you see Jarace as a different player on both ends?
He has a chance to be really special on both ends. The way his ability to shoot, take people off the dribble, get to the rim, but his defense, his ability to be able to guard multiple positions, it makes him a really, really great player. And we're ready to see his growth and to see him do it on both ends for us, because when he's locked in on both ends, our team goes to the next level.
What kind of signs have you seen so far that show you that he kind of gets more of what to do with his skill set this year than the year ago? Obviously, because he's a second player, but what are you seeing him do? It seemed like he was sharp moving the ball, hitting shots, like,
I think
What do
just
you like how this-
comfortability, honestly. Going out there and being able to play through mistakes and getting comfortable with his role, and that's big for any player.
What do you remember about being different for you in year 2 of your career?
Year
versus
2?
the first one? Yeah.
Oh dear. I don't know. I think there was a lot of turnover when I was playing, but the comfortability thing for sure. I was on a non-guaranteed deal, but I was blessed enough to make the team and then go in, and the coaching staff pretty much just said, play through your mistakes, play comfortably, and go down swinging, and that's kind of what I did, and that's the message I'm trying to tell these young guys is you need to play your game within the offense because that's what got you here.
TJ, you played a couple of games now with James Wiseman. What's it been like? What's he added to your group?
He's unbelievable. I think our front office did a great job in the people they've brought in, and he's one of them. He's been awesome. Great person, great teammate, and guy I think had a double-double in 6 minutes, or whatever, 8 minutes last game. He does the little things for our team, never complains, and he's very effective. I'm excited to see him grow as well and help us a lot.
I want to go back to Jarace. You mentioned something about just understanding your role. How are you seeing a lot of sharpness with him as far as quicker decision making? Because that's something you talk a lot with Ben and everybody, and just what it takes to make this offense work. Did you see, especially some signs the other night of him making the quick decision, either shoot it or move it?
Yeah, I mean, you can see the game starting to slow down a little bit. Where, I don't think he missed a shot last game, but he also didn't force anything either. Where he got the ball, he made the right reads, he made the right passes, and shot when he was open. So you can't ask a player to do more than that. And he's starting to learn that more and more, and it shows.
Do you think it'll change the dynamics of the bench with you specifically, with Ben back and Jarace being able to handle more handling and less on you specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I think I won't necessarily be, so ball dominant. We have guys that can really take people off the dribble with those two. So just trying to get them the ball when they're hot, and if they're not open, run the offense and get people involved. But to have two guys that can, go off the dribble at any time, it makes your unit pretty lethal.